Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of the Wrestless podcast. You might see this and see it in relation to the first episode and the second episode, and in particular how close episodes 2 and 3 have been uploaded. We are in the same call as episode 2 because we got so into the Vince McMahon documentary that, deciding that trying to render and upload a 4-hour video on a laptop would probably be a bad idea. So
Yeah, not the brightest spark of an idea.
So as a result, this episode will be shorter, and we will focus on the weekly output that WWE and AEW have had this week. We're going, because of especially how big Dynamite was, we're just going to split into a WWE and AEW, and we might keep this going forward. But as a result, this will be very brief. We'll mention certain news things that happened. I imagine one topic of conversation in particular is going to be very, very, very well discussed today.
Yeah.
And if you're wondering why our third host is currently muted and not on video, I said between recording sessions, go have a break, and he decided to have a cigarette and go outside. So
he'll
probably
YouTube
show
friends
up later. Yeah, YouTube friends on that, exactly. He'll probably show up later, but yeah, let's crack into it. Let's start today with WWE Raw.
Perfect. So in the Raw review, I just popped this one bit in because I only found out after. I only wrote it down afterwards after I'd reviewed it all. I don't know where it comes, but there is before an ad break, Beta's Woven shows up accompanied with Viking runes, cross-sectioned with the Fuhad or the Fua, I think, which is like the runes, the name of the runes for Vikings. It spelled out war, so War Raiders come back soon.
Yes.
Happy days. Good stuff. Hopefully Hansen and Rowe. Hopefully not Eric and Ivar. That'd be great. They do a full overhaul.
War.
Dude, they're so good.
Oh yeah,
so good, and it'll be a good injection into like the tag team division because it feels like it's kind of lacking on both sides.
Oh yeah,
WWE,
I think that's just
AEW as well.
Yeah, I think it's just everywhere it's lacking right now because there are a bunch of people out. But yeah, we'd like to hire. Was it Ivar who went in the singles run earlier this year?
Yeah, Ivar, great, real fun, real big boy fun. Did he go down and have a match with Obafemi as well?
Yes, he did.
Like,
he had a great match with Obafemi in NXT.
Big meaty men slapping meat. You love to see it. So I'll just pop that in there. Oh, Big E loved it. He loves it. But yeah, I just popped that in there because I don't know which ad break it's in. So kicked off the show with the Lucha Lowrider with Dom and Liv. And we had, again, like last week, I will be mentioning commentary from Wade, mostly Wade and Taz, because they're great. So Wade said, "Who has better hydraulics? The Lowrider, a dirty Dom Mysterio." Ha ha ha! Exactly like that. That was a soundbite. We have that. It was great. Them coming in the Lowrider, real fun. And then we had the Kaijus burst in. We had Bronson and Braun, just casually crashing through a merch table in the back, which was a lot of fun.
I would just like to think that they did not finish fighting last week and have just for the last 7 days continued to beat the shit out of each other.
It's like when Braun got thrown into the garbage truck and then he came out in a different garbage truck the next week. Like he'd been traveling across, he jumped to different fucking garbage trucks and then he hopped in. But yeah, so we have that. Then the first seg is Liv and Dom in ring. Again, Barrett kicking us off with, "There is a raw sexual magnetism about Dirty Dom Mysterio." He just loves him. He loves Dirty Dom and his little mustache and his stupid little mullet. It's
Reminds him a little bit of himself.
Yeah, gorgeous Wade with his luscious locks. You love to see it. So we had Liv cutting her promo and doing her horrible laugh. It's a theme on Raw these days. Everyone has a horrible, silly little laugh.
See,
and I don't like any.
When it was just Seth, it was like annoying but acceptable.
Yeah, Seth was okay. Bayley, I like Seth because it's like
Bayley had one. Now everyone has one. Just like,
yeah, well,
you're not
we'll
going
get
to
on
be
to one of the
One
breeds
Piece. You're not
later.
going to be One Piece. Stop trying to give everyone a uniquely shit laugh.
Yeah, so there was a queue up to a tape of highlights of last week's match between Dom and Damien. I think that's one of the matches I missed out on last week's podcast because there was a lot,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we're only learning. We're just little babies. Leave us alone. So we had we had Liv saying the Women's World Championship mine, the Judgment Day mine, and the most gorgeous man in the whole entire world, Dominic Mysterio, mine. Liv sounding like the seagulls from Finding Nemo here when she was talking about Rhea. So that was great. Rhea interrupts, huge mommy chants. Everyone loves Rhea because she's Rhea and she's great. Tom stood in front of Liv when Rhea came into the ring, and Rhea responded with, "Look who found his cojones, huh?" Great, fantastic.
Sean is currently shucking and jiving for the camera. Hello, Sean.
Up the boy, he's back. Hello, Sean. So then we had Dom, the announcement of Dom being in a shark cage, which is gonna be fantastic. I think everyone's gonna love it. They must be selling shark cage toys at some point, I'm assuming, but it's fun.
Yeah, I went to Smith's recently for birthday gifts. I saw a bunch of wild toys that I will probably drop in the video of this. Whereas,
perfect, yeah.
One of them was the War Games toys. I saw those.
Oh, sick! Yeah.
Big, massive set.
Mm.
Yeah, they have updated the belts that are on sale. So they have the Mustard Universal Championship belt.
Oh, nice! What a belt! It's definitely a belt.
Oh yeah.
So then, just to put an exclamation point on the segment, Rhea just absolutely nuts Liv with a headbutt is brilliant. She just drops her. So
we're starting this podcast off on what our last argument. The last one was, yay, CTE.
Yeah, love
Shoot
it.
butts.
Yay. Right. So then we had a recap of Zayn and Gunther's seg last week. A lot of fun. Stuff with Kaiser was fun. And that leads into Sami Zayn versus Ludwig Kaiser. So just to give a rundown again, boys jump in if you feel like jumping in. So we have Sami Zayn was on point. Like the guy ragdolls like no one else who ever ragdolled, you know? Like he's great.
Except Paul Ziggler.
Oh god. So we had Ludwig chuck Sammy into the turnbuckles and flipped him, and then as he hung from the top rope, Ludwig had a savage dropkick on him. It was great, really fun. And then Ludwig sent him into the barricade in front of the timekeeper's area, and after Sammy popped up onto the barricade about to hit his moonsault, Kaiser just dumped him into the timekeeper's area. It was great. It's a lot of fun. Kaiser's great. Exploder into the bottom buckle by Zayn. Ludwig hit the runaround drop kick he does into the stairs. Always love that. It's a fun little spot. I like that everyone's gaining like a little runaround choo-choo train move. It's great. I'm a big fan of it. We have Sammy barely beating the count. Kaiser just absolutely dribbles Zayn's head off the mat. Just like repeatedly bashing his head against the mat. Kaiser nearly stole a pin, but he had the feet in the ropes. The ref caught it. Another buckle exploder from Zayn. Kaiser hit like a crazy Enziguri to counter the Helluva kick. He just caught him clean with it. Really, really good. Finally, Sammy hits his Helluva kick for a win. Solid TV match between the two guys. Both of them great in ring. Real fun to watch. We had Gunther storming to the ring with it looked like he was really pissed off, all in his ring gear. Grabbed a mic. Gunther played up the idea of giving the match to the people and then said no and walked away. So that was the the Sammy Kaiser match and a little bit of Gunther afterwards. Boys, thoughts, David?
Yeah, I thought this is a really fun match. Kaiser this year has just been insane. Just like obviously with the prominence of Gunther ascending now that he's world champion.
Yeah.
But just every opportunity he's been given, he has aced it.
Knocked it out of the park.
Oh yeah, like especially the matches he had with Sheamus earlier in the year.
Oh, so good. Yeah, he's a part of that group like that. If there was an equivalent to like the SmackDown 6 on like Raw now, he's in there. Like he's great.
He's insane. I just obviously Much love for Sammy.
Mm-hmm.
This match, just because of the two highlight matches that are the headlining matches, rather, it's kind of got lost in the
Yeah.
shuffle, which is a shame. But like, it's also one of the most believable matches because he beat him. He is one of only two people on the main roster to have ever beaten Gunther.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good way to further affirm Gunther, I think, as like the boy, right?
Who's the other person?
Drew McIntyre pinned him at Survivor Series 2019, which pissed a lot of people off, including me.
People weren't happy. Sean, any thoughts on Kaiser and Zayn?
No.
Okay.
I discriminate against genders, so I can't.
Fair enough, understandable. So we have the Woods backstage with Kofi next. Xavier apologizing for last week, which was nice. You know, they're brothers. They've been together for so long now. At this point, you know,
it'd be something silly if they didn't talk anymore, or something like that. They've been through so much together. Like their tag team partners getting,
Okay, moving on. So we had Woods bring out, or not Woods, sorry, Kofi bring out Francesca and Bootios, and he was like, "We can bring all these back out to the crowd. The crowd will love us again." But Xavier acknowledging that shit was cool when we were over and we were champions. We haven't won the belt in like 3 years. Maybe we need to be better before we can do that again, which was nice. Again, downplaying that sort of stuff. Then we had the American made coming in, and we had one of the Creeds with, I think it was Brutus, with a stupid laugh, and I hate the whole stupid laugh bollocks. Get rid of it. It's just you're good. You don't need to fucking you know. It's like it's not. Nobody needs that.
Yeah, I will keep bringing up the comparisons to One Piece because One Piece has a live action show on Netflix.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Totally fair.
Stupid laughs coming out of real people just doesn't work.
It doesn't translate, no. So then we had New Day messing with them about Uncle Howdy, which was funny. They all cacked their pants like it was gas. Then you had American Made versus the New Day for later on. And then I reiterated, I really hate that laugh. And then at the end I put, was that the New Day's old butler lad with the pancakes? I think his name was Bootiesworth. I don't know if it was him, but I saw a stagehand coming up pancakes and I was like, oh, it's Bootiesworth. Look at him go. But yeah, there's a backstage segment with Woods and Kofi setting up American Maids match later on. Then we had a really nice video to build up Breaker and Uso. I think it was really well done. You know, they excel with their video promos. They know how to put one together.
Before Sean says anything, we'll get to that. We'll save it for the main event when we get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to your flowers, buddy. All right. So we had JD backstage. So Dom and Liv were whining to Pierce about the shark cage because Dom doesn't deserve this. Look at his cute little face. But Pierce was like, I don't care. I'm going getting a drink, which is understandable. We had the Lily doll.
This reminds me.
So the Lily doll was in the background, signaling Alexa's return, I assume, because she's been posting about it recently as well, because she's just finished up on what is it, Queen of the Villains? Is that the Netflix doc?
Yeah, the one about Dump Matsumoto, which has unfortunately been overshadowed by the other wrestling documentary that's been out this week.
Yeah, we might touch on it briefly next week. I need to watch it. I'm really intrigued to watch it.
It's great. It's great. As someone who knows the story very well, the way it's dramatized is done very well. The actress playing Dump herself, very good. I like it.
Yeah.
And from what I heard of Alexa's voiceover, it wasn't bad. Yeah, okay. Let's move on. But the Lily doll feels very deliberate, and she posted one of those certain years ago thing that like Matt Hardy would do.
Yeah.
But the fact that it was about Lily and it was about a pivotal moment of the story of Lily just felt very deliberate.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's by accident she was there, right?
Not at all.
So then you have McDonough. McDonough was trying to be all hard, but he sounds too posh. Like he sounds like one of the Rock boys trying to like give out to people, you know? Like it just doesn't feel real.
So, I train with the School of Irish Wrestling. I imagine Sean will also do so in the future. I have met the third day of training. I actually met JD McDonough. There's a photo somewhere that I need to find. I don't think my face is visible in it, but he's there, and just he is not soft.
Yeah. No, I don't think he is, but it's his voice. So like for anyone who isn't,
oh
from
yeah,
Ireland,
he's very. It's very much,
Yeah, I called him a rock boy. Black Rock is like a really famous posh kind of secondary school, high school into college thing, and it's where all the posh people go. And he sounded a bit like that.
He sounds like he's instead of trying to be hard, going out for pints, so let's go slam a few dynamites at the
Yeah. It's like let's slam some dynamites, yeah. It's like but anyways, that's how he sounded.
Yeah,
and then
fake Conor McGregor.
Yeah. It's fake Conor McGregor, yeah. And then I just put it as well at the end. It's the most reserved Ilya has ever been. He was just not, he was just proper like, yeah, you won't do this. And there was no like, he's normally so overdramatic.
Ilya is one of my favorites because I just love anyone, and I'm gonna just make this my thing here. He has what I like to call gremlin energy. At any point he could cause chaos. Just the amount of restraint that he showed was just like, okay, this is weird, but I'm excited to see him beat the shit out of JD McDonough again.
Yeah,
Sean, you can swear now, by the way.
I'm very, very excited to see him get the absolute bananas kicked out of him.
Yeah, maybe it'll fix his head.
So, speaking of Judgment Day members getting beaten, we had Dragon Lee and Carlito next. I'll say this till my voice goes hoarse, till the day I die. I'll die on the hill. The other side might be like one of the greatest themes of all time. It's so good.
Yeah,
the JD's theme is insane.
Yeah, which is that we'll get into. This is not a recent news thing. It looks like Death Rebel's on the way out, and thank God, because this is obviously a licensed song by Alter Bridge.
Metalingus. Or not Metalingus, sorry. Metalingus is the name of the song.
This is obviously a very, very well received, very well liked song. Yeah. And even when the group was getting ridiculed for everything else, everyone's agreed, like, oh yeah, this song fucking rules.
Oh, it rocks. Absolutely.
Yeah. And like licensed music is definitely the way to go. I don't like comparing WWE to AEW because it's just a lot of fucking arguments and headache I don't care about. But like, obviously, the licensed music does.
Know where you are.
Yeah, licensed music helps unless you have Jim Johnston. Then go with him.
Oh, yeah.
But they got rid of him, so
I mean, he's like what? 70 at this point. Let the man rest.
He could still crack out bangers, I'd say though.
He could still crack bangers, yeah. His last team was fucking Baron Corbin's, like. Fucking tell me he didn't know magic.
Baron's had banger after banger. But anyways, back to this banger of a match. It's not really a banger of a match. Anyways, it was Carlito. He was fun. Had a hot start with a Tope Suicida from Lee, but after a short bit of time, you had Carlito on top. He dropped him with a nice lariat, really nice lariat from El Carly. Then you had the JD and LWO brawling outside, distracting Dragon Lee. Yeah, then you have Mysterio making the save with the West Coast pop to Dom, and then Operation Dragon Lee, I think is or Operation Dragon, whatever they're calling it for the W. It's like a tilt-a-whirling version of DDT.
It's the Tetsuya Naito's Destino, yeah. It's just
I see. I haven't watched a lot of Naito, so I was like, I know I've seen this before, but I'm just gonna try and describe it.
All you need to know is that Naito's knees are so bad now he has to rely on other people to do it.
Yeah.
So that's in your future, Dragon Lee. I wish you all the best.
Good luck, buddy. I don't think there's much more to say about that.
No, it's Carlito. Like
it's Carlito.
Just
he's cool.
Dragon Lee. I wish they'd do more with him. And we'll get on to other luchadors later, but
yes,
but exactly. It came in with so much promise, and just like a lot of signings, they have just not done that much with him, which is quite sad. Outside of his North American title reign.
Yeah, it's a tale on both sides.
Which the only thing memorable about his North American title reign is how it ended.
Yeah, didn't Dom beat him?
No, Obafemi beat him. Yeah.
Did he trade it with Dom though for a little bit?
Was
it Dragon Lee in him?
It was. He beat Dragon Lee beat Dom. Yeah. You're thinking of
because I thought
Trick.
Dom won it, and then
you're thinking of Trick. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, and then
that
Dragon
was
beat it,
fun fact. That was supposed to be Mustafa Ali, but they released him.
No, a lot of things were supposed to be Mustafa Ali, Brock. But anyways, we had then we had a backstage seg with Cross and Miz. Karrion Kross doing his like temptation stuff again. Cross is fine in the segs. It's when the bell rings, you know.
Yeah,
but it's fine. It's fine seg with Miz and Cross.
I feel bad because if you just remove him from the Final Testament, they suddenly become a much more interesting group.
Oh, I love AOP and I love Paul
Scarlett.
And
I love Scarlett as well. Yeah,
I love Scarlett too. Great. But anyways, we had a big Shamo backstage promo after this. Sheamus roared about calling Pete Butch. Got a call him Butch chant going, but it's fine, whatever. Again, premise of this isn't great. Matches are great. I'm okay with that. Then we had we had Sheamus saying there's nothing more dangerous than an Irishman with a settled score. Let's not make this an English-Irish thing, but let's make this an English-Irish thing. So Sheamus in the Rat.
Oh yeah.
Moving on.
Fight the pub.
Yeah, fighting a pub.
Sean,
I love a pub fight.
Do you have any sunglasses you could put on? I want to test something real quick.
Okay. Well, he zoots up. We'll go to the next match. So we had Miz versus Bronson Reed. Well, we didn't really have Miz versus Bronson Reed, but we did have Miz versus Bronson Reed as it was supposed to be.
Do you know who, Sean? Do you know who you look like?
I look like a lot of people.
No, but in this outfit with the belt around you exactly look like.
Oh, yeah.
Just do this. Just do this for a second. Yeah. Sean looking
just
exactly
your hair
like
blonde
Orange Cassidy.
Yeah. Yeah. Does, yeah. So we had Miz versus Bronson.
Is Orange Cassidy as well? You know, it's very lean muscle.
True. Yeah.
All right.
I wonder
if he hands
in his pockets. But anyways, so we had Braun taking out Reed before he gets in the ring. Apron choke slam by Braun, meaty, looked great. Tope Suicida from Reed onto both Miz and Braun. While they were arguing, then we had a tsunami onto both security guards. Double choke slams to two of them for Braun. Reed's finally in a triple threat where he isn't the third wheel. Hallelujah.
Yes.
Thank God. The boy is killing it. I'm loving
poor
him.
Man.
I know, but he's getting there. Up the Jonah Rock. He's getting there. So we had a double clothesline and both of them were down. Braun breaks free of the security pile. Security breaking up the superplex attempt. Boo. Then we had Strowman with a drop kick to Reed's hip. And then I said, for a second, I thought we were going to get Strowman hitting a tope because he kind of ran to the... He kind of ran and I was like, he's not going to jump over, is he? And he didn't because he'd probably die. But yeah, a lot of fun. Kaiju boys doing kaiju things, you know? Just any thoughts?
Yeah, unlike, say, Carmelo Andrade, I could watch these two fight forever and never get bored.
Yeah, with you.
Sean?
100%. Sean?
I'm bored.
Oh, you're not bored. Come on, they're meaty men slapping me.
Break the ring, or I don't care.
They will break the ring, but not on free television, Sean.
That's on paper.
Well, they can't do it on paper because they're never going to be a fucking main event, okay?
They're not going to be a main event, but they'll be pay-per-view. They can rebuild the ring.
They've done that before, where those matches
done it before?
haven't been the main event.
Yeah, like Henry and Show wasn't the main event. I'm pretty sure. Henry and Show, that wasn't the main event.
Well, what match was that?
For the World Heavyweight
The one where they broke the ring!
Fucking both of you stop talking at the same time. Kerwin, talk.
2011 TLC. The one where Show 1 got knocked out and Brian cashed in.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that, yeah. Little heel Brian.
Yeah, he was friends with Big Show and then immediately betrays him.
Oh, that's a good run.
And this is why we don't like Daniel Bryan.
Okay, moving on from bad opinions.
Next.
So we had Drew's return where he basically just did the Punk promo from last week, essentially. So again, nothing new, same old stuff. Oh, my wife told me not to do this, but I'm gonna kill you in Hell in a Cell, blah blah blah. Grant, it's gonna be fun, you know. Didn't really pique my interest. Sean, any thoughts on your favorite match ever?
I think the wrestlers' wives should stop giving opinions about their matches.
Yeah, because they have no say in what their husbands do.
Yeah. They just seem to be like, I don't want you doing this. Fuck off. Like, fucking, I'll do whatever the fuck I want. Especially if I'm a wrestler.
It's kayfabe, brother. It's kayfabe.
Do it kayfabe real life Steve Austin.
Oh,
okay.
Jesus.
Anyways,
okay,
moving on. So we have Pierce backstage. Pierce is announcing the Last Monster Standing gimmick for Braun and Bronson. Perfect. Love it. One of the few times I'm buzzing for Last Man Standing. Like, that's going to be a lot of fun. I can see grappling hooks in the future. So we have then we have an interruption by Pete beating down Sheamus. I think Adam thought he was Chris Pratt in Jurassic Park and Pete was blue or something because he like knelt down. He's like, Pete, and Pete didn't listen because he's Pete, and then he slammed him with a cricket bat. So I assume they're probably gonna have an Extreme Rules match or something at some point.
Oh yeah,
or I don't know, a Dublin street fight, or I don't know, whatever.
A good old fashioned Donnybrook.
Yeah, good old fashioned Donnybrook. I hope for a bar brawl. I think that'd be a lot of fun in a man's pub. You know, I think that'd be a lot of fun. So then we had Unholy Union and Damage Control. So we had a quick seg between Damage Control and the Powerbuff girls, just kind of like, oh, they had your time. They're gonna fight each other. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So we had Io and Alba to start. Nice double team work from Damage Control. Lovely little tiaras from Kyrie. Really, really nice. We had Io Sky coming in on fire with uppercuts, and like the flips she was doing, fantastic. Like she's incredible. She's really, really good. She should be in the singles division. Should be going for the title. I mean, a springboard double drop kick. We had Io. Sorry, what?
Sorry, you cut out there for a second.
Oh, sorry. So again, Io should be going for that world title. We had an insane elbow to the floor and over the moonsault by Io for the win. The best moonsault ever, you know.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Chris. But best moonsault ever. Boys, thoughts?
Yeah, just like I just want to echo your point of why neither Kyrie nor Io are singles wrestlers.
Yeah,
especially Io, considering 5 months ago she was the women's world champion. I'm sorry,
I know,
the WWE women's champion.
Yeah, whichever one it is.
Yeah,
it's crazy. They should be
she's
going
insane. She's one of the best, not just women's wrestlers, but wrestlers full stop in the world. Kyrie's not that far behind her. Yeah,
I think she should retire.
Okay, Sean. Moving on. So we had a Braun Breaker backstage promo. The dogs are barking in Ontario. We had Breaker again, just solid promos. Like the guy's got it. Like he's just got it. He knows what he's at. He's building to the Uso match later on. Good stuff. Quick little seg.
Not a word out of you until we get to that point.
Yeah, we'll get there and we'll give you all the flowers in the world, okay, honey? So we had Roman and Cody face-to-face recap. We get it, it's cinema, okay. Then we had Sammy and Jay backstage. Sammy's just hyping up Jay about the title match. And then we had New Day versus American Made. So I love that the crowd is somehow still doing the "You Suck" cadence. I don't know how they're doing it, but it's great and it's like consistent. I love it. It's good stuff. We had Woods with some nice evasions and a rolling elbow, sending one of the Creeds into Kofi. The gut wrench from Julius to Brutus and dropping him on Kofi is great. Like I love their little double teams. It's great. Brutus needs to stop doing the stupid laugh. New Day double team with Kofi, where he moonsaulted off Woods' shoulders was sick. It was really cool. We had a distraction from Gable to the ref stopping a legal tag, and then a beatdown of Woods. Woods tried to battle back. Gable shouting, That's American Muscle, baby. You can't find that anywhere else. I love Chad Gable so much. It was great. We had Kofi hot tag, and he took everyone out. Xavier lost it, brought in Gable, started beating the hell out of him, and then a knee to Xavier and Brutus Ball for the W for American Made. And then that spilled into a backstage promo. Where was the backstage stuff? Did I put that down? I don't think I put it down. But anyways, Woods got really annoyed. Oh, I did put it down. So LWO were backstage apologizing to Woods, and Woods snapped at them again. Woods lost it because he said that Ray didn't respect him because he hasn't won a world title or singles title, and that's setting up Woods versus Ray for next week, which is going to be a lot of fun. Any thoughts, Sean?
I think it's very strange to book Woods versus Ray, considering both are still considered a face. Until, like, if you're gonna book a match like that, have Woods just fully dive into his heel character, because for the most part, like, look, last week when we did this episode, I don't know if it will get released or not. I know I said I thought it was very odd because they're not over. There's no point breaking up the tag team. If they're going to do it, the opportunity to break the team up was missed. I thought about it a little bit more. And thinking about the things that like Woods has done, he's actually the most recent out of the three original founders of the New Day to win something with regards to anything serious, with regards to King of the Ring. But if you're going to do something like this, have him full on just fall into the sense of being a heel. Do it well, because I feel like Woods would be a very, very good one at this point. Now, I know there's a lot of external factors that you have to take into consideration. For example, up, down, down, probably fucking that probably gets put into conversations. But at this point, if you're talking about what would do best, have the betrayal happen already by now. Have Woods versus Ray next week. And then in that instant, if say they don't get the result they want, make it worse.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I think it's another case of Hunter's just kind of storytelling long term, taking long time. He likes those slow low cuts.
Yeah,
David?
I'm gonna just expand on that last point you made there. Like, there's just people like to say long term storytelling, and he does tell long term stories. But I want to put a specific difference, just because I think the core of this is good, but I think there is a difference between telling a story over a long period of time and then just saying that you're telling a story of a long period of time, just doing the same shit week by week and not really expanding on anything. Which
it's reminiscent.
Now.
It's reminiscent of those like parts of the Bloodline saga that are just
like
drawn out, like
between manias.
When Roman pisses off, like
it just drags on. Like, I like this,
and it's not
and I think Xavier's doing very well. I think they should just have the breakup happen soon and just have him as a singles performer going forward.
My thing is, I've noticed in the Triple H versus Vince McMahon era, right, is Vince will hear an idea, regardless good or bad. If he liked it, he'd be like, right, we're doing that immediately. And then the next week, a lot of superstars would complain, be like, I don't know the direction of my story, because he pivots a lot, because he did that thing spontaneously, right? And that would have consequences for what we're doing next week, depending on the reaction, right? Trips seems to have this whole, right, we're going to use a whole 6 weeks to a month on making a story, so we have loads of clips, and then when the actual match happens, to which further progresses the story, we'll have a whole promo that's about 3 minutes long that we can preview before the actual match itself. And the thing is, between Mania 38 and 39, that were grand because there were a lot of interesting stories to tell. Between 39 and 40, there was a lot of stories to tell. Between 40 and 41 now, I'm noticing there's not all the stories I'm invested in.
Yeah.
And maybe
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a decline in any way because, you don't have something that is so big that naturally is being manufactured. But at the same time, there's a lot of stories here to which I wish I could like, but nothing is happening with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head there. Again, I think a decline is fair, but it's like I think I was kind of expecting a decline because 40 was so good. Like that was a peak.
Yeah.
That's maybe the best Mania. Like you could argue for it. You definitely could. It's up there for me. Top three.
Yeah, we can discuss this in a later episode.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
We'll save
so
maybe it's 21.
Yeah,
I
move
like
on
that.
to
Let's
Mania's
move on,
after.
please.
Yeah. So priest promo. I'm my brother's keeper. A little video package building up him versus the boy Fergal. Good stuff. Happy days. Quick little promo. Priest shines in these. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun match of Bad Blood. And we have a Wyatt 6 promo. On the screen, you had different sentences appear. This is what they said. I am but dust, a worm, a rebel. You cast your light of countenance upon me and said, I shall live the words of the red. You speak, we follow. And then there was a QR code. I didn't check the QR code because I load on this week. I assume it was hinting at the next member who's either going to be Bliss or Dakota Kai, I think. Because there was, before Dakota went out, there was a little sigil of the Wyatt 6 behind her, and obviously Bliss has the history, and she's coming back soon. So both are coming back soon, I think, actually. So one or the other. Again, don't think there's much to dive into here unless you guys have any points. Directly
Bliss was meant to come back for fucking ages, but she just hasn't. I don't think the Instagram post has meant anything. I think
she was pregnant and then she was doing voiceover work. So
PTO.
She's also been saying since SummerSlam SummerSlam fucking that she's going to be coming back, and she hasn't. It's nearly Survivor Series.
Yeah, but now they're actually like linking towards her comeback. Like they haven't before hinted at her coming back, and now they're kind of hinting at her coming back. So I'd say she'll be back at some point. Soon.
I would assume maybe at the pay-per-view. Maybe something to look out for.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, I would think so. A little Bad Blood thing. But yeah, and then we had a Pure Fusion Collective promo. I reiterate, I love everyone in this faction.
I just don't like them together.
But they've been given nothing. They've been given nothing. Then we had the main event. So give all the flowers to Sean Maroney.
Let's get this out of the way. Last week, we said that it's very unlikely that, because of how dominant Braun Breaker has looked for all this time and how clearly they're saying it looked to be the next big thing, there was no way that Jey Uso would win the Intercontinental title, and Sean said he's likely to win it back. Yeah, he's likely to beat him for it and then win it back off of Jey, and we said, nah, that seems a bit much. And now you're going to hear me admit something that will be very rare over however long this podcast is going to last. Sean was right.
Yeet.
I fucking was.
Yeah, happy days.
Nice.
So I'm going to take my moment. No, this is my moment.
Okay, I was going to break down the match, but okay, go on.
Thank you. I'm bragging before I do. So,
okay, quickly.
You may have noticed that I'm wearing this championship today. I wore it last week because I was so confident in advance. It's mine. That's why I wear it. But today, I wear it with purpose because Kerwin, we're fans of wrestling. We have been for a long time. We have a little group chat with other members, etc. And every pay-per-view, we do predictions. And every pay-per-view, excluding once, which I won, but I can't remember which one it was. I think it was Money in the Bank. He's won. This Raw, this week, I won. I was right.
Yeah.
And Jeff texted me throughout the week because I think it was something to do with like Peaky Blinders. And he goes to me, he's like, it's a mad world we're living in. We're only making predictions that are actually coming to fruition.
And then I punctuated with the end times are near. But yeah.
I am ahead of my time. I know what I'm talking about. When I say something, it is going to happen. Right?
Yeah, he said he was ahead of his time, and I said just like Steamboat and Macho Man. So
yeah.
Fair play.
Just from your little display here, I think you're going to be just fine when it comes to the performance side of being a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I want to say one thing.
Go on.
I saw this coming from a mile away. Okay. I knew they were going to get a singles championship on Jay, and they were going to make it cheap. I know Braun is going to win it back off him soon. Yeah. And when it happens, it's not going to mean shit.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. Fair. Okay. Yeah. Yeet. Okay. So,
one last thing because I have to mention this. So there's been a lot of talk about, obviously we mentioned it last week, about how Rikishi has been whining and complaining about his kids who are already some of the highest, just like the most over acts in the company who have tons of TV time devoted to them, about how they're not getting the opportunities they deserve. It's just, obviously now that Jay has won the IC Championship, you think this would slide. But no, because I saw a clip of Rikishi, and I shit you not, he was on the Hakutua Girls podcast.
Yeah, I forgot about this.
Yeah, and he's talking about his son, Solo Sikoa, and just like, why don't they give him the Universal Championship? He's the tribal chief now. I'm just like, your son sucks at his job. He's a nepotism hire.
He's
all right. He's fine. Yeah, he's fine.
For the position that he is at currently, he is not ready.
No, I don't mind it because I think that's the whole point. Like, he's not ready. He's a fake. He's there by way of the other guy left, and he went in there. I think there. But anyways, Rikishi's gonna whine about his kids till the cows come home, and we're gonna have to sit back and listen to it.
Okay, now Jeff, finally, we'll let you just break this match down.
We'll finish Raw. Jesus Christ. So Breakker versus Uso for the title. Huge entrance for Uso. If it wasn't spoiled on me, I think I might have questioned Breakker retaining at that point. So absolutely love that title introduction. Just get that over again. I'll say it every time. It looks gorgeous. With Braun whipping Jay from pillar to post into the buckles. We had a release Northern Lights from Breakker. That was great. Real strong. We had a battle of the suplex attempts solved with Braun hanging Jay on the top rope. Braun stopping the pin to do push-ups. His peak Steiner. It was Steiner all over. We had Jay coming back, knocks him over the top rope, went for a suicida, and was caught with a mean right hand from Breakker. He just knocked the teeth out of his throat. We had Breakker's leaping clothesline from the apron to the desk. Always great to see Breakker do incredible things. The guy's incredible. I just wish he'd stop writing badass on his gear, though. It's a little cringe. It is a little cringe, You don't need to write it on there. We know what you are, buddy. It's okay. Just give him all black. Just I know it's generic, but like he's not generic, so he can do it.
I'll also mention briefly because his cousin Scott Steiner's son is following in his footsteps of being a college football player.
Yeah,
he got into the new college football game ahead of Goldberg's son, so Brett was vindicated once more. But after he got in, he posted a picture of him, and I'll put it on the screen here, of him in his dad's chainmail hat. With the glasses.
I saw it. Yeah, I saw that. So good.
Yeah,
so good. Steiners keep on Steiner.
Good week for one Steiner, not a good week for the next one, but I'll let you continue to get into it.
Yeah, then we had the Yeet pulls punches, taking down Braun with a hip attack for a 2. We had a spinning fireman's carry gutbuster from Breakker. Was fucking sick. It looks so sick. Then we had Super Frankensteiner by Braun. It's always great the way he does the little pose before. It's great. Love him. Then we had the runaround spear dropping Jay. Jay caught Breaker with a spear. Uso splash for a near fall. Jay hit him on the button with that super kick on the outside, though. Oof. Absolutely bottom. Then we had a spear through the barrier for Jay. We had Uso spearing him again in the ring. Uso splash for the 3. And then we had
he's your new Intercontinental champion.
Yeah, and I love Joe Tessitore. He said, "Go ahead and yeet." He did it. Just stop it, Joe. You're good. Just stop with the yeet shit. You know.
Yeah, I would just like to point out one little flop they had in the production. As WWE are often to do when something big happens, there tends to be, show endings, a lot of fireworks going off, and this did not change with Jay's win here. But because he was in the crowd, the camera and the crowd were both focused on him on the complete opposite side of the stadium, and you could hear fireworks going off, and no one was looking at them.
Oh my god. Yeah, I saw that. Gas, but yeah, Jay's your new IC champ for at least a few weeks. Yeah. Sean, any last points before we move on? Keeping in mind we have another 3 shows to get through. So
I was right.
Perfect. It was him, Austin. It was him all along. So
it was a
moving
good
on.
Show. It was a good show. We don't need to focus on NXT too much. We should probably just mention the important things.
Yeah, I'll mention all the title scene stuff. So we kicked off with a North American title match between Kalani Jordan and Ren Sinclair. Grand little match. Quarter Crash Crew was out for Ren. And I was like, first of all, oh, this is where they hid Mike Rome, because I haven't seen Mike Rome in ages. I like Mike Rome. He's good. We had nice transitions to arm ringers from Kalani. Ren hit a nice bridge pin, diving in it down Kalani. That was cool. I like that little bridge. It was nice. Booker sounds like he needs an oxygen mask because he sounds like he smokes 60 a day. We had yeah, it's so funny. Then we had a nice cartwheel back elbow by Kalani. No quarter catch crew. Barring Dempsey are all really irritating. I just like to note that. And then we had a split leg moonsault for the W to retain for Kalani. We had an Ethan Page press conference then, followed by a Punk and Williams backstage seg about the next week's. Is it next week? Next week.
Yeah, it's next week.
Yeah, Chicago CW debut. So we had Punk saying he's proud of Trick, reassuring he's going to call it down the middle, and the best man will win the belt. Then we had Waller effect. So build up the match with Fraxium. Waller introduced him by saying one looks like Kurt Cobain and the other's a Power Ranger. I thought that was great. I do like Waller. Fraxium say they're the Grim Reapers of tag teams, and when they face off, they're sending A-Town down 6 feet under. Nice little line. Didn't believe it, but it was a nice line. And then Waller had a cheap shot after Fraxium questioned why Waller doesn't have theory in the branding of the show. Fine, whatever. We had a Lex King backstage segment. Then we had, for some reason, they have a daddy issues match with what's his name? Ora Mensa later on. Then we had Ashanta the Adonis Bachelorette thing backstage. Is that what he's doing now? I don't know.
Yeah, this is part of the reason we don't watch NXT regularly, because there is good performers and good stuff going on. It's just like, I know a lot of the loony bullshit is the appeal for people, but it just clearly doesn't appeal to us.
Speaking of good performers, we had Tank Ledger and Hank Walker versus the Good Brothers next. I loved this. I thought this was a ball of fun.
So this is what I've been all this time.
Yeah, right? I was like, oh,
AJ. He needs
there they are. I know, right? He fucking needs his boys. But I love the energy of Tank and Hank. Pure cocaine head vibes from the 80s. I love it. Love Gallows and Anderson. The nerd thing's back. Always a big fan. Fantastic scenes. We had a Too Sweet and Hawk Hawk chance. I don't even know what a Hawk Hawk is, but it's fun. They're over, whatever.
I assume it means either Hawk Honk or Hawk 2, which none of those particularly fill me with joy.
Yeah, exactly.
Both those filming with joy.
No, you're filming someone
else with joy. You never walked in a country road and seen a lorry and you've gone hawk. No, you're not a real Irish.
You're filling someone else with joy. That's the thing.
That's true. Anyways, so blocked Tank from hitting the buckle and coming in hot. That was nice. I said Tank looks like a little mini rhino because he does look like a mini rhino, and I love him. He's good. Yeah. And then I said, "Ooh, watch the paint job." That was Booker. I just love Booker. He's fantastic. Yeah, he's great in everything he does.
Yeah, now that
that's the Vince documentary.
Yeah. What? Sorry, what, David?
No, it's Sean. Repeat that because he didn't get that clearly true.
Yeah, I didn't hear you.
I just said, especially in the Vince documentary.
Okay, so good. Yeah. I didn't know his name. Hoffman. I didn't know his name was Hoffman. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Booker, so then, Booker is just like now that Taz has sort of become like, you know, back in the day, Botchamania would like have insane people commentary, like Taz was the main one.
Yeah.
But now that Taz has sort of become one of like the best commentators in the game, that sort of just ridiculous bullshit commentator role seems to have just Booker T seems to be filling that now.
Yeah. So we had Hank and Tank with the W over the Good Brothers, which is nice. Uncle Seti and Javon Evans backstage. It's like, I hate that. They're just building up to Javon versus Randy at the is it St. Louis show they're doing?
Yes.
Or where are they? Yeah, because Randy's from there. And A-Town Down are like, oh, blah, 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 you're bad or whatever, basically. And they have a tag team match later on. You've Aura Mensa versus Lexus King in a Daddy's Issues match. Lexus not winning with the feet on the rope, but Aura has no problem doing it. I thought that was fun. Nice little springboard. Brett's rope dropkick by Aura. That's all I wrote down for that.
Yeah, just speaking, it's the second time in as many podcasts that we've had brief mentions of the fucking Flying Brian's family. Yeah, just the Pillmans continuing.
The Pillmans running wild, brother.
Oh yeah, suicide blondes.
Can I just say, like, if I'm taking one thing from the segment, Grayson Waller.
Yeah.
Because I have had a look at his work in NXT. I had a look at his work, you know, on the main roster. He's one of those superstars to which just shines. Like, it's hard to ignore, right?
Oh yeah, he's got it, yeah.
Yeah. But like, he's one of those superstars that fit the NXT rigmarole of content so well.
Oh yeah.
Like, so well. He hasn't lost his touch at all in any way, shape, or form. Because those characters arguably are so very different.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, he just flips back into it so naturally.
Yeah. He's great. I'm a big fan of Waller. So we had a Rocky training montage for the Don. Love it. Absolutely love Tony D'Angelo and the family. Whole them just literally doing Rocky scenes. Fantastic.
I just imagine that Punk was watching that backstage with a little bit of anger brewing.
He was watching. He was like, "What the hell is this from?"
He's like, "I don't get it. What's this? I don't get it."
Yeah. So I just put down soap opera Sopranos vibes. Fantastic. Chef's kiss. Love it.
He's like, so I don't want to shoot myself in the foot again, but like, I think this one is more cut and dry. Yeah, no, he's not with it.
I think he is. I'm going for him. Come on, the Don. Bring up Oba Femi. Bring up Oba.
Twice in 2 weeks. No,
bring up Oba.
I would say so, but also I want him to win the NXT championship before he leaves because he needs that just big top run before he gets pulled up first.
I'm with you there, actually.
Plus,
I
think with like all the title changes coming up soon, that I think what's most likely, I think Trick's gonna win back the NXT championship, and Julia is 100% winning the women's championship. So,
and hopefully Roxanne gets called up because she's fun.
Absolutely, she deserved to be called up last year.
Yeah, no, 100%. So we have that's obviously the Don Rocky training parody thing that's building up to their contract signing next week, and then their match in 2 weeks. for the title. We have Riley Osborne versus Ridge Holland. I didn't expect to write much for this at all, but Osborne's fun. Osborne's a lot of fun. Great. So we had a hot start. Osborne with a tope con hero over the ropes to Ridge. Osborne put Ridge through the barricade. That was nice. They had caution tape on it afterwards. Love a bit of caution tape. Fantastic. And I swear Booker could just be a soundboard with a cutout.
Yeah.
He just, oh yeah, like it's just like he's doing a bad Macho Man, you know.
Oh hell.
Yeah, literally. Oh, shuck it, duck it, quack, quack. You know, but we have Osborne landed on his feet from the moonsault attempt, which was nice. It was really clean. The rampage, it was kind of like Page's DDT, like a rampage. I think that's what Ridge was doing. That kind of like grab them up there, have their legs wrapped around, and just drops them. I think it was nice. It was fun. I think he could do like a better power move, but it was fine. And that was for the win. And then Ridge took out Riley after the bell, but Osborne hits him with a super kick and leap off the steps, and they kind of continue brawling. And then you have what's her name shouting? The Chase U girl.
Thea Hale.
Thea Hale. That's it. Yeah, she was just yelling at him, and I was like, stop.
Like I'm gonna say something about Ridge Holland.
Yeah,
like obviously it was a good match, but like Ridge Holland, like obviously I don't blame him for what happened to Big E. A lot of people still seem to.
Yeah.
Which, like obviously, you don't do those moves on people you're not sure can take them. But like he has been in NXT a while since. Like that happened almost 3 years ago, and he's still there.
Jesus,
yeah.
I like Ridge Holland.
I like him.
Like, look,
I don't blame him.
I like him too. Yeah.
Like, look, this is gonna be a very outlandish take, and you're like, this will be like one of the few times to which, like, honestly, I won't fucking, distaste you fucking coming at me for it. I view Ridge Holland very much a lot like Owen, right? And in that instance, to which you have a man to which, in Owen's case, if you take away the tragedy, his career could very easily be defined by a tragedy, right?
The Austin thing.
Yeah.
Which,
okay, cool. Which
is.
But at the same time, but at the same time, Owen was regarded by nearly everyone as one of the best, just like Brett, just wasn't given the opportunities, right?
Yeah.
And Ridge, I genuinely think, is a phenomenal talent. Ridge, I don't know how to put it, but he's not bad in the ring. He's not sloppy. He's not slow. He seems like a natural. It doesn't feel right. Like, unless he's a development talent to help others elevate, I don't see why having him in NXT.
I think it's a lot of it is kind of to cool off. I know it's been 3 years, but I feel like a lot of people on the roster might have had some ill feelings towards him afterwards. Maybe they mightn't say it publicly, but it's understandable. But Ridge, I think, is gonna be pretty good when he comes back to the main roster. I mean, he has the rugby connection, which is similar to the NFL in terms of just explosion and that sort of athlete, power, right? Yeah. So I think it's gonna be he's gonna be fun. David?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fine. What I'm gonna mention, which is a fact not a lot of people will probably know. Just I often just like some of the things that make me don't like Austin, but like obviously I don't blame him for being angry about having his career slowed down for a long time and long-lasting effects afterward because of the pile driver. But I would also like to remind people he did the exact same fucking thing to Masahiro Chono a few years earlier. And Chono wrestled for 20 years afterwards.
Yeah.
Like he changed his style.
That's crazy.
It's just I just find it cosmically funny. Just like,
Yeah.
Plus, Austin retired for a mix of reasons. Austin could have gone many, many fucking years after. But, he made his bag. He went home. Fuck him.
Given things that happened to, like, say, Masao or Hashimoto, I am glad Austin retired when he did.
Yeah, like, look, fair enough. He thought he had a heart attack fucking the night prior, but fucking, at the same time, fucking, look, I am a very big believer on if you love this sport, it'll show over the course of decades. If you're not, if you're in it for just fucking making your buck, going home, or making your name and fucking capitalizing off it, it'll show. And with a lot of wrestlers, I find if they get to that level of success and they dip almost immediately, that what's the word? That support from the fans will almost be noticed immediately, and it will waver because they see right through it. In Austin's case, I find him to be an exception because he was at the top, like fucking tip top of the mountain. Fucking, he got to the top of the mountain. He was like, "Oh, I see something higher. I'm going for it." And fucking, he got there, right?
Yeah.
Now, he was never a successful movie star. Let's remember, Austin tried to do he tried to do the movie.
He was in Grown Ups too.
He tried to
right?
do the movies.
And he was great.
It didn't work out, right? And he just fucking sat on his fucking stack and he was like, "Well, I guess this is how much I'm gonna make," and he fucking lived off it.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
One last point before we get back, because we've been seriously.
Yeah, I was gonna try and drag it back.
Was he in The Longest Yard? He was in one of the sports comedy movies where his character was
because it was the same
massive
one.
Racist. Yeah,
same one as like is it Goldberg and Kali? Wasn't Austin on the
yes, he was on the
police
side.
Yeah. He was on the So anyways, brief retrospective of Austin's career and film career. We had an Obafemi.
Rich deserves more.
Okay, I got you. All right. Jesus. So Obafemi and Tony D'Angelo on Miz TV for next week. Obafemi conference. Guy's got presence. That's all I need to say. We had Wesley and Zachary backstage. Zachary cussing all over the shop. Wesley cussing all over the shop. They did the Will Smith bit from about 2 years ago, but go off, I guess. Fair enough. I feel like it'll be a fun match.
Yeah, it is. It is eternally funny that they took the fucking X Division belt off Bailey, put it on Zachary for him, only just so he can win the next night,
100%,
and then immediately take it back off him.
Yeah, poor guy. But then we had a USA Memories package going from everywhere from peak Black and Gold era to 2.0 all the way up to the current roster. That was kind of fun. Then we had Ava backstage with Jada Parker and Lola Vice, setting them against Fatal Influence for next week. Rosemary and Wendy Chu versus Brinley Reese and Carmen Petrovich. Ashante the Adonis comes out with a stupid rose, distracted Petrovich. As above, so below from Rosemary for the W. Not much in the match itself, unless anyone wants to pop that in.
It's wild still seeing like old school TNA people on WWE as part of TNA.
Yeah, it's weird. It's very weird. So then we jump to a Punk backstage seg with Ethan Page. Page saying he isn't happy about Punk being special guest ref, and Punk essentially just reiterating what he said earlier.
A lot of these things, obviously, as time will go on, because it feels like, we're in the constant stage of like the Monday Night War where people are just going to go back and forth, but like, you can't really gloss over that when you have two very much, at least in recent years, AEW people there.
No, 100%.
Yeah, it just feels like a weird sort of tension, but like, we'll go on.
Yeah, sorry, Sean. What were you gonna say, mate?
Look, I think providing on AEW's success, or as long as it's in the limelight, because regardless of my personal opinions, it's not my cup of tea because of certain things.
You don't watch it.
But fuck off. I won't support a program that will continue a match after a concussion protocol fails. Anyway.
Oh, WWE never did that.
No, fuck off. They learned from their tragedies. Watch the documentary review that we did. But with that, I think there's a lot of fucking stellar talent on the roster for the matches that I do watch. And there's going to be a lot of talent over the years, we predict it or not, because Kerwin seems to fucking know everything before everyone knows everything.
I don't.
He does. But I think that's going to become more commonplace, and it's going to be a case where, like, look, you're going to have a locker room that's going to seem a lot more. And if I'm going to put it in colors, let's say fucking red and yellow, for red for Fed, fucking yellow for AW, right? And over the years, you're going to have a lot of Fed people fucking, either get to the age where they need to retire, or they're not hot anymore, they get released. And where do you find your next crop of talent? Oh, well, AEW is doing quite well, but they're not doing the numbers that they want to. Maybe they're not selling out the live attendance, but there's a couple stars that fitted their mold, they perfected their craft, and there's stories you can do with them. And in Punk's case, I think that will tell a lot of interesting stories, to say the least, either in NXT or on the main roster in years to come. I think Ethan Page is not going to be someone that's in NXT for long. I think he's going to have his Roman belt. Yeah. I think he's going to do very well with it. I don't think he's going to lose this match, fucking, if Mo switches. Like, regardless fucking Punk's involvement or not, I don't think he's going to lose. And the second he does, whether it be now or I think he's going to carry the belts just until maybe before Rumble or Mania. But when he does, I think that's brilliant story to capitalize on.
Yep.
On the main roster.
Yeah. Perfect.
We've already spent too much time on this, so let's keep going.
Gonna say, I thought we were gonna breeze through the Punk Page segment. So we had Cedric and Javon Evans versus A-Town Down Under. Booker T shining again. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? And then he was reiterated from Vic saying, "What's wrong with you?" He hit him with a sidekick. So it's like, what are you talking about? Theory sold a springboard clothesline really well. Fraxium just get dropped by Waller. A-Town Down Under get the W from Fraxium interference. Then we had a Trick Williams conference. Fine. Babyface doing babyface stuff. Happy days. And then we came to Roxanne Perez and Julia's presser in the ring. I was happy to see the boy Funaki there translating for Julia. That was fun. We had Roxanne gives me kind of AJ Lee vibes.
Well, yeah,
kind of a little bit.
That
her cadence and stuff.
That was the thing last week. Yeah.
Yeah, but she does. She genuinely feels a bit like AJ Lee, which is always a good thing. And Julia, good, fine stuff. Nothing super brilliant here. Stephanie Vicor came in on screen at the end, asking what they'll do when they face her. Again, is a fine main event segment. Julia's gonna have a fun title run. And Roxanne hopefully will go up. But yeah, that was NXT. As coming back to it for the first time in years. Grand old watch.
We'll probably, what's going to happen is we're going to do the next two because of how many main roster people or interesting things are going to happen, and probably drop it when that momentum goes. So
probably.
I had a great time.
So do you?
I think we are going to keep with the WWE train and just save the AEW stuff for its own thing, because there was a lot.
Perfect, yeah. So we'll jump to SmackDown from last night. So Smacky D, we had a Orton in-ring promo. We had Randy looking for an explanation as to why Cody's teaming with Reigns, which is fair enough. Orton doing the whoa pose and like mouthing along to Cody's theme was fun. Cody says Randy deserves an explanation and that he's taking Reigns at his word. Handshake from Orton. No problem, Cody. No problem at all, unless you make it a problem. So Orton's probably going to turn heel. So we have Owens coming out. Then the Bloodline come out to stop him again, giving his thoughts on the whole situation, building up that kind of tension between Owens and Cody. Big OTC chants, ringer in the arena, and Solo
getting booed at every time he opened his mouth.
Hey, it's heat, brother. So Solo knocks the credibility of the three as a team, and KO sets a tag team match for the main event. Cody says it doesn't just have to be a tag team match, and Kevin says, "Yeah, it does,
Yeah,
bitch."
no.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
He's like, let's just keep it. You have your tag team match. Me and Randy have ours. So that's the main event. Any thoughts on the opening seg?
Yeah, I think you know it is a good setup for what's to come. Especially since a lot of people say who's going to turn on who. I think both of them are going to turn on Cody at this point.
Yeah.
And well, he's kind of brought that on himself.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Maroney?
My view is very much from Instagram Reels because I woke up 3.5 hours ago roughly, and we've been filming for quite a bit. But I enjoyed the Orton Rhodes promo for what I saw of it. I thought it was interesting. I find it funny almost how they do the weekly podcast. They're like, "Oh, we're never going to turn each other." And Rhodes has been doing like a whole media tour. It's like, it's never going to happen. He's happy for me, and then fucking almost immediately after, it's like, okay, well, storyline dictates. But if I'm honest, if you're going to lean into Orton finally challenging Rhodes for the title, if you're going to head in that direction, because I feel like that's going to be the case for at least Survivor Series, and do it all the way. Don't drag it out. Don't tease it. Don't be a case of Kevin Owens versus Rhodes, where you have him compete at a pay-per-view for the fucking title, and then you have conflicted, look, I can't do this to him, fucking Kevin Owens, because that's not him. He's the prize fighter. He fucking did despicable things. Fucking, have you not seen the This Is Your Life segment with Jericho? Like, and fucking, have Orton be the cunt that he is. I understand you enjoy, from a company perspective, him being the baby face, the person that probably out of your entire organization at the moment who wrestles regularly, he's the guy that most people recognize. Like he's the biggest name bar fucking Roman, and that's just simply because he's been around 2 decades.
Yeah,
but at the same time, most people recognize Randy Orton as a heel, a cunt. Fucking, when you think of Randy Orton, there's a couple moments where he kicks Vince's head in, he kisses Stephanie in front of Triple H. He is a despicable character. Never mind hearing about the stories behind, the scenes. He's very much similar enough in his early years. Never mind now, he's a family man. I understand, but as a character, he is brilliant as a heel, and him versus Cody, heel versus babyface, genuinely sounds like the most interesting story that Triple H could put on since Roman versus Cody for 2 years in a row, right? I don't think Roman. I don't think. Sorry. I don't think Brandy's going to be the person that takes the title off Cody. I think that's reserved for a person who we're not going to name because I don't want it to happen. And if I speak things, if I
something to
speak
do
things,
with bulls and thunder.
A final employee sorry,
you can say it because when you talk things, you are wrong. But when I say things like Jason Owens' title, I hear this week. Champion.
Perfect. So in summation,
I'm picking my words selectively.
Yeah, so heel Orton versus face Cody.
Yeah, I'd love to see heel Orton as champion again. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the time or place to do it. But I think, judging by the first promo, it was a fine promo, and the main event kind of highlighted that as well. But in my opinion, if you're going to do it, Don't have this be one of those stories that drag on for fucking ages.
Yes.
Because Orton's a creative character.
I think we could all agree we could learn to be a bit more succinct.
Oh yeah. Let's keep that.
Namely, Sean, please be more succinct.
All right.
But like Orton's a very
so long.
No,
you could have just said the face heel thing.
But like, no, look, Orton.
Like 5 minutes.
But Orton's a very
oh my god
distinct character, right? Keep me in mind.
Jesus Christ. Okay, we get it. He's a complex character, and you want him to turn heel, and you want him to face Cody, and it's going to be really fun.
But see, here's the thing: if you just have him as a heel, just immediately, he's very entertaining. You don't know what to predict from him week in, week out, as opposed to the same boring promo rewarded every single fucking week.
Yeah.
I would rather see him kick a bunch of fucking people and Cody's dog in the fucking head just to fucking build a match.
Yeah. All right, moving on. So next week, the Nia Jax backstage segment. Nia doesn't understand that she lost last week, and that's why that she has to have a match for the title. And she threatens Tiffy. Tiffy looks like she's about ready to cash in. We have Bayley versus Naomi, #1 contenders match for Nia's belt. Naomi was wearing Uno gear. Fun. Yeah. We had a tornado from Naomi to the outside, which is fun. Review by Naomi for a 2. Really nice head scissors driver from Naomi. I don't know if that's the right call, but that was pretty cool. She like grabbed her in a head scissors with her legs and flipped her. It was great. Then we had a gourd buster from Bayley, and Bayley to belly and the flying elbow for the win. So that's Bayley going against Nia for the women's title.
I'm not I think I had that whole rant last week. Like I'm certain it's going to be a good match. I'm just wondering why you do the rematch so soon.
Yeah, like give Naomi a shot. I think she deserved it. So
okay, yes, you're right about this too.
Be fucking quick, please.
I think we're walking out bad blood with new WWE Women's Champion. I don't think it's going to be Bayley. I think it's going to be Tiffany's. And Tiffany's going to cash in middle of the match. Tiffany's going to have a promo and a SmackDown following Bad Blood. It's going to be fucking Charlotte Flair that calls her out.
Okay, cool. Keep that in mind. Rolling on.
Flip this when I'm right again.
Okay, we get it. You're right. Okay. So we had a Naomi and Bayley backstage seg later on then where they were like, oh, I'm cool with that, Bayley, because I'm going to get the first shot when you beat her next week or whatever, right? Fun, happy days. Then we had Naomi and Tiffany set up a match for next week. So that'll be whatever. We had Andrade and Carmelo in their 6th out of the 7 series. We have Carmelo taking out LA Knight backstage in the pre-match. Andrade hits a sick power slam on Carmelo while he was half out of the ring right onto the apron. Carmelo hit a catching first 48. It was nice, really good. Andrade ran right into it. We had a springboard DDT from Carmelo, a clean double moonsault by Andrade, tilt-a-whirl facebuster, and a super suplex lift into a cutter by Melo for a 2. Melo countered a superplex into a cutter for a 2 count. That was sick as, really fun. Yeah. Then we have Hayes getting rocked by that back elbow from Andrade, which should be his finish. Make it your finish, not that silly message thing. It's a load of bollocks. So Knight then gives interference, giving Hayes the W, and Andrade didn't shake Knight's hand because he's not a nice man, and I don't respect you as a man. So we had that. Any thoughts on Melo and Andrade for their 6th match out of 7?
Yeah, I really like both of these guys. Really wish they were doing more, but however.
Yeah, fair. Sean?
I'm officially at the point to which I'm sick of the feud. And the 6 out of 7 fucking, like, whatever you want to advertise it as, fair enough. Look, I understand it makes more sense to at least keep track of the fucking score, but Trips has a bad reputation of stop-starting pushes, and it feels like that with both of these men. I feel like we're in the fucking COVID era to which Vince would put on the same fucking match once every 10 fucking weeks and then switch to something different. And you're doing the same thing here. You're just advertising it differently. I've seen this fucking match kind of just move these men onto different people because they have phenomenal matches with other people. If I'm honest with you, like if you're going to build these stars, Carmelo's kind of arguably a more established star in the Fed because of his work in NXT because he did so well. Fucking Andrade, he took away. He took a bit away. He did very good. He came back. Fucking, I'm sure he was promised moons and stars, and fucking this feud is not doing that for him.
Yeah, I think the last Best of 7 series that was really good was the Cesaro Sheamus one, like back in the day, when they formed the bar and all that sort of stuff. Again, it was going somewhere. I don't think this is going anywhere. I think both people are better served in other stuff. So we had a backstage. Yeah, we had a backstage or brackets KO brackets and Cody Seg, because that's the only team name that makes sense, but you can't say it because it just sounds like Crusader's finisher. You have KO trying to set up boundaries, but then Orton knocking him down. Basically, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston on Raw. That's what they're doing here, right? That's the same thing. Then we had a AJ Styles vignette, because it's in the news. Everyone's like, "Oh, what about AJ's contract or whatever?" I think it's coming up at the end of the year, starting next year. But he has been doing a load of European dates. I don't think he's resigned yet. So AJ's return next week. That'll be a lot of fun. Missed AJ. Be fun to see him back.
I didn't notice.
Gallows and Anderson, please save your man.
Bring the boy.
Please.
And then we have Piper and Niven versus Mitchin in a build-up to
a dumpster match.
Dumpster match with Chelsea Green, which great promo last week.
Oh yes.
This was fun. Niven had a nice sit your ass down spot, Smojo spot, really fun. We had a big time cannonball by Piper. Crucifix driver by Mitchin was clean, real nice. Eat defeat for the win. I hate the eat defeat.
I hate the name. I hate the move itself.
I hate the move. Yeah.
So much.
Yeah.
Just
not great.
Mitchin, we know you can do better. Just do better.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe take one of your husband's finishers. They're pretty good. And
give her the spare bomb.
Yeah. I know you can do them.
Yeah. So then next we had a tag title triple ladder match promo for next week. So we have Bloodline, DIY, and why can't I think of the other team? Who was the other team? Bloodline, DIY. David, any idea?
Bloodline, DIY. Let me look it up real quick.
Who the heck is it? Gway Maroney, you only watched a few reels of the show, for feck's sake.
Yeah. Fuck you. I had a good night last night. I'm feeling like a champion now.
Well, I'm gonna have a
and
good
you've dragged this
tonight.
podcast on about a half an hour.
Look, Jeff, here's the thing, right? I can watch a couple fucking reels every now and again if I miss a show, and I will make the right predictions. I'm your Intercontinental Champion. Okay? You remember that.
You haven't watched 3 of the 4 shows we've covered. Shut up.
Yeah. And I didn't watch the fucking show to which I got it right because I know I'm right.
Okay, fine. Anyways, we'll move on.
Yeah, I'll interject when I have it.
Yeah. Perfect. So then
what is the name of the team?
Shut up. So we had Naomi and Bailey backstage. So that was backstage when we mentioned earlier. And then we had the main event. So Bloodline versus Aura brackets KO. Fatuno selling the back suplex on the table was gas. Orton then hits him another 3 times with it and then hits Solo with it. Fantastic. Solo tried to give a superplex to KO. I said, silly Solo. Don't you know KO doesn't get superplexed? Come on, watch the show, buddy. Then you had Orton with a hot comeback after the hot tag from KO. Then the Tongans came down. Then Cody came down. Cody bumped into the ref in the weirdest ref bump I've ever seen. He was thrown into his leg and he dropped.
He could see around him. It's the weirdest fucking throw.
Exactly. And then Solo with the W off the interference. So I need to run to the bathroom. So I'll leave ye discuss that and I'll be back in like a minute. Okay.
Yeah. God. All right. While Jeff's busy dropping the kids off at the pool, let's talk about this match.
That was not masturbation.
No. Okay. Do you have any thoughts about this before I get into it?
I actually haven't seen this yet, so I don't have thoughts to which I can form an opinion on.
All right.
And
Yeah. So
what I'm gonna do.
I really enjoy this match. It was a car crash from start to finish, as you would expect. A lot of really good. It's rare you highlight this evasion work, obviously, because Solo likes to kill a man with this thumb. He tried to go for it several times, and KO moved out of the way. I just thought that was a very interesting segment.
This is the match that had the whole like KO tease against Road, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I've seen a little bit of this match. Then yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Just the way that Kevin Owens, especially the way that he is able to broadcast emotion through his matches, is something I think, especially for the two of us, already a trainee wrestler, someone who wants to be a wrestler. He's a good guy to study for that.
Like, through the promo that I saw, well, not promo, but like through the aftermath, which I saw between like Randy, him, and Rhodes in the ring, Randy does not get the credit that he deserves for portraying emotion in the ring because he matched Owens so fucking well.
Oh yeah.
Hello.
Yeah,
wash your hands, you freak.
I did wash my hands, you
we're
bastard.
Just talking about.
Fuck, you were gone for less than 30 seconds. What do you mean?
Just constantly hyping up Kevin Owens, but I really like this match. Just the sheer amount of insane things that Jacob Fatu can do blow my mind. Like interference,
every week.
The bloodline. You expect that at this point. But yeah, way
it's always gonna happen.
Just the way Cody was thrown into that referee just broke my immersion for a second, and I was pissing myself laughing.
It was a bit ridiculous,
it
was like the weirdest ref
stomach. I would have bought that entirely, but no, he was thrown
him into the back of his leg,
and he falls down against the he didn't even take a good bump. You could see around you still. And he took was there for a good minute while Jacob dramatically kicked Kevin Owens' head off.
You have to remember that referees are built out of glass.
Yeah, but that was ridiculous. Cry me a river.
I just fucking insanity of just It felt like a very anticlimactic end, which I imagine was the point. But I am just waiting at this point to see what happens because it feels like there's an Apex coming soon and it needs to happen relatively soon. But
I assume they're going to start building for the War Games match soon, surely. Civil War, Bloodline,
I think, it was a good show overall. There wasn't a lot happen. What did happen was generally of high quality. But I'll leave it to you. What do you think, Jeff?
Fun. A lot of fun. I think in terms of leading up to Bad Blood, I know we obviously have Go Home next week, but I think in terms of what they're going to do, I reckon maybe put Bloodline over Cody and Roman.
Yes.
Maybe you have Orton and KO come out there.
Yes, I think so.
But yeah, fun show. Maroney, what did you think of the reels you watched on Instagram?
I enjoyed the reels I watched on Instagram.
Fantastic.
Okay,
right.
Now we'll move on to the stuff that you don't give a shit about. Let's talk about AEW Grand Slam.
Let's talk about a great show.
Before we do that, I have a question. Can we pause?
All right, go on.
Can we pause? Fine.
Oh, Maroney, we're nearly there. Please.
All right, look, you go off for your fag.
You go off for your fag.
You go off for your fag. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm bringing the title with me because I'm in character now. So I'm bringing the title with me.
Okay, mute yourself.
We're just gonna submit this to a promo class later on.
What? Dude, honestly, I can't wait to meet them just so I can show them how it's actually done.
Okay, mute yourself and turn your camera off if you're smoking, alright?
So much.
Alright, later, gorgeous. Right, so, tell me, are we good? We still around?
Oh yeah. Let's talk about Dynamite.
Hell, yeah.
All right,
Right, we
so
have AEW Dynamite Grand Slam from Arthur Ashe. Kicking off with a, if I'm right, 17-year-long feud at this point.
oh
I
yeah, this
think
started in
2006, right?
2007, I think.
7. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So we have Nigel versus Brian kicking off. Nigel comes to the ring. JR was on the call for the match. Great shout. Nigel JR said Nigel's eating the hell out of that chewing gum, I'll tell you that much. He's just chewing the gum in the ring.
Yeah.
So Nigel wants a 10 count because the Brian's normal theme hit and he didn't come out. So he wants 10 count and award him the win and the American Coward to be stripped of the world title. Final countdown hits. Brian comes out, taking his time, going around, shaking everyone's hands around the ring, which was nice.
He looked
Then we
pissed.
start.
He looked pissed.
So angry. Well, he did try to get murdered the last time he was on
Yeah.
TV. So no attempted murder will do that to you. So we start off hot and heavy with the strong uppercuts from Nigel, receipt from Brian. Brian trying to be technical and intricate, but again, gets a stiff uppercut for his troubles. We have Nigel shouting, "Too easy, Tony, too easy," which I thought was fun. Nigel's a lot of fun at this.
Oh yeah,
He's so good.
My general thought is, for a guy who has not wrestled a singles match in almost 14 years,
Yeah.
he has not missed a step. Like, he's obviously a bit slower just because he's now in his mid-40s.
Yeah,
but like
he probably has more muscle than he's ever had as well.
Oh yeah, definitely from when he retired, because that was the point. His arms were fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just the
Very
sheer
true.
amount of things he was able to do, and a great thing.
Dude.
I might save this for when we finish off this segment.
Yeah,
just
sure.
Like, the story building up was that Brian was a coward. Like, obviously, a lot of people who, even with the 12-hour fucking timeline video that they dropped, Nigel might not get. He gets across his character very well, his heel character. He is a cowardly, slimy, just
terrible,
the worst kind of person. Yeah, and he portrays that very, very well in this match. Even if the people who haven't seen it before, they understand it pretty well by the end of it.
Yeah, even like Collision last week, his little promo where he said, what was it? If there's a god, if there's a god out there, you'll show up, and if you don't, I hope the devil hears my prayers. Like, come on, the guy knows how to. Great. He knows how to do it. He's so good. He's so good.
Like, literally every just like year-end thing, I think he won Commentator of the Year, and he deserves it. Like, he is one of the best promos. Probably
he is a magician in many ways.
Yeah,
literally a magician, and literally everything else. Yeah, literally a magician. So I just heard, holy shit, the clean transitions of arm ringers. Insane. Liquid wrestling between the both. They haven't missed a step. Great chain wrestling. Brian smacked that taste out of Nigel's mouth and he smiled at him.
Oh,
it was so good.
Nigel. He's been waiting for this.
Good. Oh my god, and thunderous uppercuts from Brian and McGuinness back and forth. More weight around Brian's though. He had a bit more slap from him. Like, you could. Oh yeah. There was a bit more from Brian, you know. I think it was, Nigel possibly.
No, go ahead.
Sorry, go on.
No, finish off what you're saying there. Sorry.
Sorry, I just cut out there for a second. So yeah, Nigel possibly taking a shot to the yam bags. We had to go for a VAR on that. Taz had to come back. We had rapid body shots from the both of them. It's great. Brian reverses an attempt at the label lock from Nigel and puts it on Nigel himself. Drop toe hold from McGuinness, and Brian smashing face first into the steps. That was brutal. We had Danielson just avoiding the steps dropped on his arm. And just put down, here comes the head trauma. Start headbutting each other. But again, not as viciously, right?
The ring post spot.
Oh my god, when he just So McGuinness trapped his right arm in a key lock and stood on it as he let go. It was brutal. We had Nigel denied the Terror London, and Brian hit the Psycho knee. I don't even think it was near fall. I think they both just dropped after that.
No.
Yeah, we had Nigel with the headstand on the turnbuckle, so good. Denied Brian with his feet. Then Brian hit him with club and blows. McGuinness drives Danielson down for a 2. We had Brian dropped Brian dropped to the floor after nailing an uppercut with his right arm because his arm's been worked the whole match. Really good stuff. Brian's comeback was stopped by the failure use of his right arm, but McGuinness hits a code. Not a code breaker. What was I trying to say there? Comebacker lariat. Sorry.
Yes.
Autocorrect. Hits a comebacker lariat, and Brian kicks out at 1. So fuck you, Nigel.
I love this.
It's so good. And then a thumb to the eye and a ripcord clothesline for a near fall by Nigel. That was clean as well. So good. Some of the best lariat / clotheslines in the biz. He's so good.
Yeah, undeniably.
So good. I love the mention of Excalibur in terms of technique and pinning with the high stacks and stuff like that when they were going back and forth. It's really fun. Like Excalibur and Taz are so good at that, just kind of bringing you into the world of how serious it is and the techniques they're using.
Yeah.
I'd go more into Taz's stuff later in the Hook match, but it was really fun.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah.
Exactly. Then we have Hammer and Anvil elbows by Nigel. A Tower of London for a 2. It was so good. It was so good. It's crazy. Then we have back to the key lock from Nigel again. He wrenched back with a key lock and knees pressed into Danielson's back. It looked wicked. It looked so good, so painful.
Nigel's always been great, just sort of making sure everything looks as painful as humanly possible.
Bro, he knows how. He's so good. Then you have the boost spot with Brian and Nigel, which is fun. Drop kick from Nigel sends Brian into the ropes. Danielson attempts the comebacker, but just gets caught by McGuinness. He just knocks his teeth out. Absolutely drives him down. If Brian can't get his grip right, with the injury on his right arm, which I thought was really nice selling from Brian.
Oh yeah.
You had hammer punches to the jaw with Brian's left hand. Brian then wins with the bell lock. And I can't.
Yeah.
Did he say thank you or fuck you?
It's debatable. I think in character he said fuck you. I think in reality he said thank you.
Yeah.
He gets his final performance to go out on. Yeah.
Exactly, and I'll just run through the Christian stuff before we go on. So Christian came out, Kip then stole his pen and ran away, which I know a lot of people are like, Kip shouldn't be in the main event title picture. I'm like, it's funny though, isn't it?
Yeah,
so,
and just
a lot of
Christian
fun.
Ran back, saw Claudio and back and went, yeah, no, bye.
They looked like they were about to break him in half. It was brilliant.
It's like a spot in a comedy movie. It's great.
Oh my god, it's so good. So, thoughts on? I'll leave you wax lyrical for a bit about the match.
Oh, just the character and the psychology of it is perfect. I think it was got shout out in the first episode. Might as well show it out again. Joseph Montesillo, who has done a series of videos about Nigel and Brian, and is going to be making a new one about this one. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, because they were really fun.
He put it perfectly on Twitter. It was like, whereas Nigel, this is everything to him, clearly. Yeah, he has wanted this so badly. This is like third or fourth of Brian's priorities right now, and you can feel it. You can feel it. He just wants this to be fucking done and over with. So he can go.
He's like, let me just beat you so I can move on. Yeah.
It's so good all around. A fucking masterclass from two of the best. And I'm glad that Nigel is finally getting the mainstream recognition as a wrestler that he has deserved.
Bang on. One negative, nothing about the match or the call or anything like that. Crowd just did not seem into it. They never got going. Really, really not fun. They got, I think, the Bucks match they got into.
But we'll get to that, yeah.
So next we had Hook and Roddy for the FTW title. So this was the retirement of the belt. Thank God. I think we're all happy about that.
Christ.
I think we're all happy about it being gone.
Yeah, just like we love Hook, but it's a noose around his neck at this point. Like he needs
it's an albatross. Like
just do something different because they can't beat him if he has a belt that they'll have to give to someone else. So like what? So what's even the point? Thankfully, it's gone. There was a beautiful moment with him and Taz at the end.
So sweet, so sweet. I'll just run quickly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, lovely promo. I'll just run
Yeah.
run quickly through the Roddy match. Nothing special here, but fun stuff. So just Taz, especially in hook matches, the way he gets over the different trips and throws and holds he uses are great.
Yeah.
Really fun. So Hook took all three of them out. So it was Roddy and the Kingdom. So he took out him, Taven, and Bennett with the kendo stick. And then he used the stick for a Russian leg sweep by Roddy into the barricade. Was nice. Roddy chucked Hook head first into the ring post from a fireman's carry position. That was definitely something.
One of the the fact that he's a goofball is just such a brilliant contrast to
how
fucking terrifying it would be to fight him. Yeah.
Bro, I don't want to meet him in an alley. Are you joking?
He'll
backbreak me like 50 different ways.
Yeah, he's probably the best cardio of any wrestler currently living.
Oh my god.
The man
he's insane.
Just has an infinite gas tag. You don't believe me? Ask his wife. There's a picture after they got married. They had their honeymoon at Disneyland. She's in a wheelchair, and he said he broke my back real good.
I love Roddy. So Taz calling the Messiah the backbreaker versus the Sensei the suplex. I like that. He can keep that if he wants. What did they used to call him? You know, I know the cold-hearted handsome devil. But like in Spanish, wasn't it like El Guapo Guapo or something?
El Diablo Guapo, which just means great. Cold-hearted devil.
Yeah. It was Excalibur. I love that. Again, Taz calling. Taven got a sign that says Roderick. He's a fanboy Jones over there. I just love Taz so much.
He's the best.
Oh god, he's the best. He's great. And then I put, oh god, Sayanagi by Hook to Roddy through the chairs. And then he locks in a red rum for the W. Yeah. So red rum taps out Roddy. Roddy shook hands and hugged him. Post-match, I was like, that was a bit weird. But then I was like, oh yeah, they're retiring the belt. Fair enough. Makes sense. Retirement of the FTW title. Nicely put by Hook. And a good decision and a nice hug between Hook and Taz. Taz looked really emotional. It was really sweet.
For really two fun. New York boys as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's perfect.
Great.
It would have been more perfect if they did it a year ago, but it's perfect.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, so we have Matthew and Nicholas, the Bucks, versus Kyle and Will, the United Empire.
This was the one exception for the crowd. The crowd were fucking alive,
dude,
and you could feel.
How could you not? First of all, Kyle is so over. Kyle's so over.
More than anyone else, the thing this is what this brief tag run has really done is elevate Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle looks great. I'm so happy for him too because he's good. I can see him over in the next couple of years putting on a bit more size, muscle wise too.
Yeah,
I can see him going that.
He's definitely Ospreay's successor, clearly.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. And the Bucks. Perfect tag team to have showcase these guys, you know.
I'm very glad Sean's still muted because I do not want to fucking hear it.
He's gonna give out about the Bucks, we know, and Ospreay and all that. But anyways, so I just started off. Ospreay is one of the best entrances in the business. It's fantastic. It's so much fun.
I'm so lucky that last year I saw him twice in 1 week. I got to hear elevated twice.
It's so good. It's an earworm. But you have Kyle and Will mocking the Bucks pose behind them. It was brilliant. Loved it. And then I put, what the fuck is Matthew caught in his hair right before I think Tony said the same thing on commentary. And then Taz just goes, maybe you know, Don, but you have no hair. So you might not know. It's like they all just shit on Don on commentary. It's great.
I think just establishing a rule, given that the men we're talking about, I think going spot by spot is kind of an agonizing thing to do to yourself. So we should probably just go through the highlights.
Yeah, 100%.
Thing just first of all, Kyle's selling throughout this entire match.
So good.
Yeah, especially all the various head drops. He just gets fucking he sells and he has broken his neck. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh my god, it was great. The bloody the EVP trigger into the kip up from Ospreay and the double cutter. So good.
Fucking
so much fun.
Yeah.
Sick. And then you had the spot where all four of them just went wild. You had a power bomb by Fletcher into a face buster by Nicholas, then a 450 by Osprey, then a Canadian destroyer by Matthew with a hidden blade, and it was all great. It was so good.
You heard the crowd just absolutely lose their shit, and like people like specifically like older wrestling fans and former promoters and bookers, but like they don't like the style of wrestling, and I understand why. But also, listen to that crowd and look at the amount of views they get on social media. People like it, especially people who are not that into wrestling. They see this, they might not stay interested in wrestling, but they'll at least pay attention.
Oh yeah, like I just an aside for a quick minute. Like I was showing one of my best mates. He's not interested at all. Like he watched it when he was a kid, and that's about it. But I was showing him like a couple of matches because he was staying over one night, and I showed him Foley and Taker because it's one of the like I polled a few people and they were like, "Oh, Foley Taker is a given." I forgot how kind of slow it is a bit. Like apart from obviously the crazy huge spots they do. Like in terms of a match, like I put it on for him and he was like, yeah, it was a bit slow and a bit like this, that. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Like it's one of the bigger matches. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna show him Bryan Danielson versus Will Ospreay because that's a very good match. I showed him Danielson Ospreay. He's like, oh my god. He was like, he doesn't watch it right now, but he was like, that's insane. He was like, that's crazy. That's cool. It's so anime. And I was like, yeah, it is, isn't it? Like but yeah, so it's this kind of stuff drags in people nowadays,
clearly.
Yeah, so we had a TK driver on the apron to Fletcher. Oh my god, he got mangled. He got absolutely
which
mangled.
Is nothing but like their knee hitting the ground, but it sounds like it just broke. Yeah.
It's disgusting. And then Matt hit a leaping DDT and it onto the apron, and it was sick. He was like, "You're dead," dropped, and then you just saw him kind of hold his back, and you're like, "Oh well, there we go again."
Yeah,
Matt Jackson with the bad back.
It's been 7 years since that first spot, that injury, and he's still doing it. I love that.
It's so good. It's all out of spite for Cornette because he told him he couldn't tell stories.
Yeah. It's great. Yeah.
Jesus, yeah. So what else? A lot of else, but like they had the reversal of the TK driver into the double styles clash from Fletcher and Ospreay, which was
looked beautiful.
Ruled. Looked so good. Both of them hit it clean as. You had oh my god, and then they went for the TK driver again. A lot of TK driver spots. Went for the TK driver. Ospreay just intercepted Nick with a cutter out of nowhere.
That ruled.
So good. And then a TK driver to Matthew for a near fall. And then they kicked out of the Coriolis. I was surprised they kicked out of the Coriolis. That actually got me. That really got me. What else then? Then there was the screwdriver stuff with Don. Will stopped Kyle from using it. Belt shot, kick out, super kick party, and BT trigger. And that was all she wrote on that one. But
what a match.
Insane.
What a match.
So good. So good. Everyone's saying it's their favorite match from Grand Slam. Oh, yeah. I still prefer Nigel and Danielson, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
But I understand why, and I love all four of these guys, even though a lot of people don't.
Oh yeah, like so much fun. Yeah. A lot of fun. This like very close second to Brian Nigel.
Yeah, this is very clearly setting up. I have not heard, despite what Sean said earlier. I don't know everything, but it definitely feels like Davis is coming back soon.
Hopefully, yeah, reunion.
What I feel is going to happen is that they're going to split Kyle off from the family. They're going to feud with the family for a while, and then build them up to a Grand Slam in Australia, where I imagine they're going to win the tag titles there.
Yeah, we could have the reunited Empire.
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
Happy days. So that was probably one of the greatest matches we're going to see till next time Will and Kyle get in.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, so then we had the conglomeration backstage. Rocky Romero is welcome to conglomerate with the rest of them. I don't know what that means. It sounds dirty, but I like it. And then I was just like, Mark just knows how to cut a fun promo. I love that, man. And Kyle goes, but Mark, what's the word of the day? He was like, Why, thank you, Kyle. The word of the day is vociferous.
I love this group. Like, it's the most thrown together group of all time, and I love it. Yeah, I should also mention, because I think you reacted to this when I put it in the Discord server we're using to record this. The tweet he uses to frame the Jericho thing is like, last week Jericho hit me over the head with a baseball bat, so this week I'm gonna whoop his fucking ass.
Was it worded that way, or was it like, I feel like it was like, for that reason he has earned a fucking ass. Yeah, it's so good. I love how he just, the way he speaks is so brilliant. Mark's the go. Yeah, really fun. We have Jack Perry driving to Grand Slam. Woo. Cool van.
Yeah, we might just talk about, because he has an open challenge. By the time this goes up, it is all the open challenge has already happened. And,
yeah, just spoil it for me if you want.
So I thought it was going to be Daniel Garcia, because there's that whole thing about his contract. He's from New York. That didn't happen. The guy they got was Minoru Suzuki.
Of course they did. Why am I even surprised? They got Murder Grandpa to show up.
For what everyone said, it was incredible, and I cannot wait to see it. But obviously, by the time this goes up, people have already seen it. So
yeah, and Jack won, I'm assuming.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, perfect. Then we have Yuka Sakazaki versus Mariah May for the women's world title. I'll reiterate again. I love Yuka. Give the women more time and give them more of a build. There's one women's match on Grand Slam Dynamite, and it got a weaker build, and it's just not. It's not fair on either of the competitors.
Give Divas a chance.
Agreed. Yeah, sure.
Hi,
so
yeah,
hi, Sean. So we had this match. We didn't get Taz losing his mind over Yuka's theme, so -5 stars. It's so good.
Yeah,
he like turned it into Tamatanga for a minute last week. So we have Yuka with a springboard to the outside to kick this one off. Sharp roll and elbows from Yuka. Shotgun drop kick from Yuka, which was really nice.
Oh yeah.
We had Northern Lights bomb again. A little bit janky. A little bit janky from Yuka. And then we had a strong knee and a Storm Zero for the W from Mariah. Again, short match, no build. You can do better, but we did have a bit of fun afterwards. So we had, I just put down, real shame they couldn't have built up a decent match for the women's world title at Grand Slam. Like, come on, especially off the Toni Storm feud. Like, it was so good, and they're not pushing Mariah the way it should be. And then you have Willow in for the save. As Mariah goes to hit Yuka, and then Marina coming out a bit taken aback, because she offered a distraction for Mariah to hit the lads, and she wasn't happy about it.
Yeah, there was. I should mention, because it doesn't exclusively happen on Dynamite, but there was a backstage promo where it means like, I gotta go back to Japan for the weekend. It's like, oh, what you doing? It's not important. What she's doing is she's teaming up with Toni Storm. Yeah, so she doesn't want Mariah to know that, so she's gonna silently move away. But I think obviously the direction for Wrestle Dream is clearly going to be Mariah versus Mina, and I am excited. Because I love Mina. Yeah,
and then maybe a Toni Storm return at some point.
It feels like maybe Mina then Willow is where the women's title feud is going. Which, if that's the case, fine by me. I love both of those women very much.
Happy out with that. Willow's last big match with Chris was insane. Willow's great. I'd be a big fan of that. And then we have the main event. Darby Allin versus Moxley. A lot of aggression in this match. A lot of stiff shots.
Jesus Christ. Obviously given the reputation of these two and the insane lengths they'll put their bodies through, like, good God, like, a lot of people seem to compare this to 2014 Lesnar for Mox, where he essentially just ran through everyone, and it feels like that.
Yeah, just beating the shit out of the small guys.
Yeah.
But so we have JR back out for the main. Good call.
Yeah.
Nice to have him out there. Love JR. We have first of all, John wrapped Darby's mouth around the rope and kicked it until he bled. So that was nice. We had Darby flying through the buckles and slammed into the steps and then to the floor. It was rough. Like, I know Darby's mental and he's always going to do something mental, but I never am prepared for what he actually does. Like,
No,
I'm like, you're gonna die, like,
ready.
you know, you're gonna die at some point. You've Darby catching Mox's arm in the turnbuckle and beating it down. I thought that was fun. It was a lot of fun, that spot. It was different, you know, it was new. Then you had Darby brings a whole nother meaning to the word suicide dive. That bullet style dive he does is insane. Like, the guy just leaps like he's shot out of a cannon. Like, I think everyone else who does a suicide dive should stop. That's how good Darby is at it. Like, it's reckless abandon to the nth degree. Like,
I'm
crazy.
surprised he's been handicapped yet.
Yeah, you know what? Which, like, he should be in a wheelchair at this point. You know, like, he's fucking.
Give it a few years, yeah.
It's a bit much. Yeah. Give it a few years, yeah. So then we had Mox with a body slam on the apron, which was Marino was throwing in some shots on Darby. A stolen pile driver by Mox where he just spiked him on his head, like proper spiked him. There was a nice work from Darby with a couple of roll-ups and a transition into the Fujiwara armbar with the wrist lock and then into a guillotine. That was a lot of fun. Nice little kind of Swerve-esque in his transitions. I feel like he can do that kind of stuff. They came up together, obviously, so but that kind of smooth liquid transitions, which I love. Then we had what?
Pure violence.
Yeah. Oh god. Then we had I put Jesus Christ. Mox just paintbrushed Darby and dropped him from the top turnbuckle to the floor. He just smacked him, like just swatting him like a fly. And then Mox was justifying what he was doing by saying Darby asked for it. And then Darby flipped out of a Death Rider attempt, went for a bullet dive, and landed on the exposed floor, like hard, like he slid on that floor. Like, oh, it was crazy. And then he got hit with the release suplex into the fucking stairs for his trouble. That was nasty. That was that'll put hair on your chest, you know. Then the crowd chat was fun. You can't kill him, yes you can chant broke out. Which is a lot of fun. Coffin drop caught into a sleeper and bridged out into a bulldog choke by Mox. Darby crawled to the ropes, spitting and foaming blood in his mouth. It was a great visual. Really, really good. Like, he played up the fucking spitting blood on the canvas and stuff. And you had a diving Death Rider by Mox for the win. And then post-match stuff, Brian came out with a necktie to choke Mox, which I thought was great. And I think
Justin Roberts in the corner there, just having PTSD flashbacks.
Yeah, I think he tweeted afterwards. He was like, "I'm getting deja vu here," something like that. Like, it was a still of him with the necktie. Yeah, then you have Private Party and Commander coming out to help, but they got fucking taken out. So, then you have Brian saying, Mox, you said you wanted a war. I declare war. Here's the thing you want, a shot at my AW World Championship. You got it. Me and you at Wrestle Dream, and I'm going to kick your fucking head in. So, yeah, for Wrestle Dream. And that was AEW Dynamite. How do we feel?
I had a great time. It's definitely
me too.
It's obviously it's the biggest Dynamite of the year traditionally. Now it's getting turned into a pay-per-view. Just what an utterly insane just sort of match. That like just especially the first two and the last one were just it's what you want. Like, you can easily put those on pay-per-view, and you very clearly could, but the fact that you get them on free TV is just, if the crowd was better, this would be like an all-timer thing. This would be a highlight package for you.
Yeah. Kind of thing. And it's New York as well. You would think they'd get into Brian and Nigel, you know? Like ROH stomping ground, stuff like that. Yeah. But then again, they've ran New York a lot recently. Yeah. Like, they've ran a lot.
They're not the only ones either. Yeah.
Yeah. True. But yeah, crowd aside, and obviously the booking of the women aside, great show. Fantastic.
All right. do we want to get into a roundup of the news and then finish up?
Oh, sugar, yeah, news.
Yeah, there's been so I think we covered a lot of it last week, last episode I should say, all the Vince stuff. So
yeah, so we won't mention any
we'll sort
Vince
of leave
stuff.
that there. And we'll talk into we'll try to keep it light and fun here, but yeah, there's a very contentious sort of event seemed to have come out last week. Last week. So
you want to start talking about that then, David,
yeah,
and then we'll maybe
so
go into
all this
stuff.
goes back to Conan, as do a lot of really stupid things. Our podcast is better than his. You know, we don't have Disco Inferno on
low
ours,
bar.
so yeah, automatically we're doing fine. But yeah, Conan essentially let it slip that not only were the Lucha Bros gonna go to WWE, they're already making merch. Now, this is a bad idea to do in general. Gets it rid of the surprise and whatever. But unfortunately, and I will get into the sort of, we'll touch on tribalism briefly, but this is something WWE and TNA do as well, and it pissed off a lot of people when TNA did it earlier this year. They have tacked on injury time for Phoenix.
Yeah, did they already did it to Penta as well, right? I read the Fightful report.
Penta is, as far as I know, Penta has already had his injury time done, so he's free to leave.
Yeah.
Fairly soon. Nice. But just obviously a lot of people do it, but I can see why people are angry. I wouldn't do it, but also, apparently Penta as well was just sort of bragging backstage, just we're gonna get this amount of money, we're gonna wrestle Cody for the title. I'm just like, what you've done here is essentially just fucked your brother over.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
In a massive way. Obviously, with the whole corporate takeover TNA at the start of the year, they did that, and I'm sure a bunch of people like Hendry and Alexander are going to leave. Jordan Grace is definitely going to leave because of stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a shitty thing the industry does. My hope is we at least get good stuff out of Phoenix, and that he gets a decent push if he's going to be on TV. It's just,
hopefully.
It's a black spot in a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I am going to, obviously, don't support billionaires.
Yeah, true.
And definitely don't support Conan, just because if we ever do bonus episodes, I'm going to expose you to the absolute nightmare clusterfuck that is AAA and the way he books it.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ. But just what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, nobody likes it when you tack on injury time. It's a crook kind of move, but it's also, when you're going around bragging that you're going to the other company and you're going to wrestle for the belt, but on Twitter you're saying that your All Elite is my current present, and it's like, all right, buddy, but you've kind of messed it up, So it's a weird one. I don't like it. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right by any company to do it. It wouldn't fly in any other sport, at all, right?
No.
But yeah, I'm in line with you, David. Sean, what do you think about it?
Who the fuck's Conan?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, we don't have time for Conan retrospect.
No, he knows. He's just being sly. Yeah.
Oh, God. Like Conan O'Brien?
Yeah, Conan O'Brien, Sean.
Okay, look, is there any other news topics you'd like to get into?
I'll just do a quick rundown of Fightful's kind of weekly report stuff. So obviously, we mentioned SmackDown. AJ Styles is coming back next weekend. People are asking, where's AJ? He was similar to Nakamura, doing some European tour dates and traveling around. He wasn't on TV because I just don't think they really had anything to bring him back for. So why would you bring him to TV? Give him a bit of a break.
Where's Nakamura?
Nakamura, he's in fucking probably surfing. But
Surfing USA.
both of them, both of them again. AJ's coming back next week. I think his contract is due to end either the end of this year or the start of next year. I assume they'll re-sign him. They will. I don't see him going anywhere else.
Yeah, I think AJ will resign. I don't think Nakamura will.
Yeah.
Because he's getting on now, and I always assumed, I always thought he would end his career back in New Japan anyway. So they need him.
Yeah.
They really need him.
Yeah, so there was a bit of debate over the Bad Blood main event. I don't think it's clear even now, but I think it's safe to say that it's probably going to be the tag match, even though it probably should be the Hell in a Cell between McIntyre and Punk. But it's going to be Bloodline because it's Bloodline or Bloodline. So that's a
maybe Rikishi will lower his bitching down by about 20%.
Yeah, but Jay isn't in the main event. Why isn't he defending his title on the pay-per-view?
Do you think Jay's defending it actually on the pay-per-view?
No, there's already 5 matches.
You know, Triple H
probably
is
6 with them.
Averse to anything going over 3 hours.
Yeah, he hates it. Yeah, he'd hate this. But Cody Rhodes hits the top 5 in Fanatics overall.
Which is
so that's
not
overall
just wrestlers, that is sports athletes. Which is insane.
Everyone. Yeah. It's crazy. It's really good. No other wrestler in the top 5.
No,
so good for him.
Close. Yeah.
Whoa. Fantastic. Happy days. We have Mick Foley re-signing a Legends deal with WWE. So he's going to be not used a lot, but he can be used, likeness used, all that kind of situation. Outrunners have signed with AEW, which is fun. Good stuff. The youngest men alive. So their reply to Sean Ross Sapp when he queried about the contract dealings and things like that was just that they could neither confirm nor deny that they were too old or too young to sign. So they've been working since like the late 70s, early 80s. So it's good to see him get a good contract. Worked with Gagne, worked with Gorilla Monsoon. Vince Senior, they've been through a lot. And Ted as well.
Road Warriors,
Yeah, Animal and Hawk, big fans of them. Yeah, Bushwhackers, you name them, they've wrestled them. Good stuff for the Outrunners, though. Happy they're getting that. There was hold on, reconnect my phone. It's not connecting for some reason. There is a bit of Saraya contract news. So she's sticking around in AEW. So Fightful Select Sean Ross Sapp has learned that former AEW World Women's Champion Saraya has re-signed with AEW for a 1-year agreement. So Saraya is sticking around
forever. Yeah, but
forever.
Just keep her as where she is. To what she's best.
Yeah, keep her where she is. Give Hater the win over, and keep Hater pushing on. Because we want to drink the Haterade. We love Jamie Hayter. She's great. So we have updates on Shinsuke Nakamura, again, similar to AJ Styles. Same sort of thing. Updates on Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel, unfortunately, has been dealing with mast cell activation syndrome for quite some time. It sidelined her in early December. She did come back a little bit during the Elimination Chamber, but then it acted up again.
Question.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
No idea. I'm not a doctor. I'm just reading Fightful.
Someone I'm very close to has a similar sort of condition where it just attacks cells in your body. It's an autoimmune thing.
Yeah.
Are you a doctor?
No, I just know a lot of people with really fucked bodies.
Yeah, that's fair. Sad for Raquel. Unfortunately, it happened again, and she hasn't returned. So hopefully she can come back soon. I like Raquel.
I am a big fan of her.
Yeah, she's really good.
Rodriguez.
Nice to see her come back. Yeah, Raquel Rodriguez. Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. I haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. We just mentioned what she was.
Pay attention.
I'd be happy to see her.
I think he's talking to you. But anyways,
fuck
Sean,
you.
Never watched it.
Silly, swaggy twat.
All right. Yeah.
So just the last couple of things. What's going on with Jimmy? That was obviously from Rikishi's tweets. We know what's going on with Jimmy. He's injured. He'll be back soon. In regards to Regards to Zilla Fatu coming in, that's not the crack. GCW aren't going to be working with him going forward, I don't think. But he's not coming to WWE as far as they know. Hikuleu as well, keeping with Tongan, not Tongan news, but Samoa news. He's going to be rumored to be heading to NXT, I think, when he comes in. He's not going to go straight to the main roster, apparently.
Weird, but okay.
Yeah, really, really strange one, actually. Also, want to mention the I Am the Storm song. Titus O'Neil was on that. Isn't that great? Go on, Titus, you big yoke. Yeah, I love it. So that was the song accompanying the Roman Cody stuff. In other news, Tamina is largely done with WWE. So her last Raw was in late 2022, and her last appearance was the Royal Rumble in 23. What else have we got? Oh yeah, Regal was questioned about being an inside mole WWE when he was in AEW, sourcing out contracts and stuff like that. He replied on Twitter, basically just refuting all the claims, challenging anyone to ask anyone who was there when he was there.
I don't believe him.
Yeah. I love Regal. Don't fucking dare this.
Oh, I love Regal. I just think he's lying.
I love Regal too. Yeah. True, but I'll believe him because he's Regal. He's a man, such a man.
Such a man.
What a man.
And then the last couple of news stories. So Steph Delanda, due to undergo neck surgery, which has pulled her from future appearances. She's looking like about a 6+ month outcome. For at the minute, could be a little longer than 6 months in terms of recovery. Yeah, it's a shame.
She's doing great stuff in the bit of TNA that I do. She seems to be doing great.
Exactly. Yeah, the clips I've seen have been really good. And lastly, Dustin Rhodes announces he's undertaking a new promotion under the banner Rhodes Wrestling Alliance. First event, Texas Fall Fury, will be taking place on November 21st at the RWA Bullpen in Leander, Texas, which is also the site of his training school, the Rhodes Wrestling Academy is based. So I assume it's going to be feeder in there.
Yeah, I mean, look at the initials of both the school and the company.
Yeah. Look at the adjective. But yeah, that's
look the vowel.
That's the news. And I am.
We're all very tired. I have to go to a party very shortly. So
I'm fully fucking awake. Let's party.
I have to go to work in an hour. So
all right. Well, on that bombshell, I think we're going to leave this here. Thank you all for watching. Is there any closing statements you'd like to add?
I would like to make a closing statement. I am the champion.
Okay. Jeff?
Well, how do you follow that, brother? No, I'm just very tired and I want to sleep. So thanks for listening.
Thank you. Enjoy wrestling.
Aren't you working like an hour? Oh, sorry, half an hour.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. Just you like what you like, subscribe, like the video, do all that stuff, and just enjoy wrestling.
Tell those two dickheads that you love me the most.
And also, if you don't like what you like, comment, because we like engagement, because that's good. Thank you.
All right. And just remember, enjoy wrestling, because wrestling should be fun. Goodbye.
Where the fuck are you from?